why don't you join me in my little dungeon here for just a moment, so that way we can talk about something that matters, which is your physical health and fitness. Unfortunately, the old saying that you've heard many a time through your childhood, use it or lose it, is very true. When it comes to the human body and the human mind, if we don't use things, they start to atrophy. They start to die, so to speak. And we live in a world where we don't actually use our bodies in a way that promotes long-term health. When you talk about those blue zones, those places where people live to 100 years old, there's a common theme amongst those, and one of those is that they have a lot of movement in their lives. Most of us, myself included, to some degree sit behind computers and answer phone calls. So there is a remedy to losing it, of course, and that is to use it. And there are many different ways that we can utilize our fitness. In fact, there's plenty of different training methodologies out there that will tell you to do different things. There's the runners, there's the lifters, there's the hybrid athletes as they call themselves, there's the yoga and the beach body and the Pilates and the blah, blah. And I would say that there's value in all of these spaces. All of these people who are saying, move your body, do my way, I think there's value in all of them. I personally have a bias towards moving my body in a way that is, how do I define this? It is conducive to living a higher quality of life. And what I mean by that is the movements that I do in the gym to some degree should mimic movements I do outside the gym. Picking stuff up, putting stuff down, sitting down, standing up, running a bit, throwing things, like all of those things that you find in your life, you should probably be building capacity in the gym in those. I personally have done CrossFit for 20 years, and it's been something that has made my life better in every way. Now, I know people hear CrossFit and they're like, oh, it's a dirty word. It's really not. People who think that just don't understand it as a methodology. But do you need to do CrossFit? No. Do I think you should to live a higher quality of life? Yeah, I do, and I really do. And there are many great CrossFit gyms around this country that will allow you to come in and meet awesome people and do really hard shit over and over again to where you get better on a physical level and honestly, oftentimes emotional level and mental level. But I'm currently at a stage in life where I can't go to a gym. I don't have the time, and I'm not saying that as an excuse. I currently live like 20 minutes from the nearest gym. I have 4 kids, multiple businesses I'm running. I can't sacrifice for right now where I'm at in my life, 2 hours of my time to drive to a space, have an interaction, do the stuff, and then drive all the way back. I would love it. I would wish I could do that, but I just can't right now. So about a year ago, I signed up for one of my friend's programs. This program is called Street Parking. And Street Parking is an at-home training program that I think is really, really good. Every day, you've got multiple different versions of the same workout. So no matter what gear you have, you can do something. And every day, there's a scalable version of it that would be doable no matter who you are. So all you have to do is trust that it's good, show up every day, and do the work. I'm gonna be honest, some days I do less work, some days I do more work, but I don't have to think about what's the work I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show up and do it. In addition to that, they've got a big group of people who are all doing it, not with you, but there's this like collective understanding that you're not alone. You've got a Facebook group you can jam on, you can look at people on the app. I think it's a really good program. I've been doing it for about a year. So about 5 months ago, I started working for the company. Truth is, I'm still a member. I still do all of these workouts, and they've been profound for my level of consistency. That's one of the mottos they have, is consistency is key. I fully believe in that. Especially if you've seen any of my other content, you know that I believe in that. So, one of the things they do every year is something called the Vault. And if you want to describe the Vault really quickly with a cool video, here it is.
What is the Street Parking Vault?
The Street Parking Vault is one workout a week for 25 weeks with the goal of helping you build consistency.
You can do any version of the workout.
You can customize to meet your equipment and fitness needs.
Each week, log your workouts before the time is up.
Remember, your scores do not matter.
You just can't miss.
We can dance if we want to. We can leave your friends behind.
And that's the gist of it. Now you might have been watching that and been like, why does this all feel 80s themed? Well, every year they actually do a theme for whatever vault they're doing. This year's theme is 80s, specifically 80s icons. And guess what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna flip and do it. And I recommend that you sign up for Street Parking just because I think everyone should have this program and be able to just go in their garage and do it. But if you don't wanna sign up, you can just follow along with these videos. I'm gonna do a vault workout once a week for the entire 25 weeks. I'm gonna put it on this channel for fathers. If they wanna join along, I'd love to have them. If you don't, stay for the other harder to kill, easier to love stuff. But if you're not already training, highly recommend jumping on the bandwagon. So today's the day that they released the first vault for 2026. It's going to be Slimer. And let's watch the video on it, at least the first part of it.
All right, everybody, we are here and welcome to week number 1 of the 2026.
That's Miranda. She's one of the owners of the company.
We're gonna kick it off with this year's theme with none other than the slimy green ghost that we've all remember from being little kids in Ghostbusters. Slimer. All right, so
The slimy green ghost that we all remember from being little kids. It was almost like she forgot Ghostbusters. She's like, from slimyghost.com, you know, or something like that. It was Ghostbusters. She got it.
Single arm devil press.
Okay.
That's it. 100 single arm devil press with, of course, a caveat. Every minute on the minute, you're gonna perform 8 air squats.
All right, I got this. Here we go. Okay, so let's talk about what this workout is, exactly how it's gonna go down. You've got 100 reps of a devil press, a single arm devil press. You basically will be switching sides and plugging yourself away at that movement over and over again. But then every minute, so every time 60 seconds rolls around, you're gonna blow out 8 air squats. You do that until you get 100 total devil press. It's gonna be spicy. So let's go over some of the mechanics of these movements and some tips for making them work well for you and not hurting yourself. So with the devil press, you wanna make sure that you're choosing a load that feels light for the day. Don't make it feel super heavy. As we're doing them, it's a pretty straightforward movement. You just lie on the ground like a burpee, and then you can step your way up, you can hop your way up. If you're stepping your way up, it's gonna be slower, and since we have to get 100 done in a shorter time, probably wanna hop your way up. If you can't hop your way up, then don't hop your way up. But then, as you get to the bottom, a lot of us are gonna wanna bend the arm a lot and pull and press it overhead. Try to keep your elbows straight, your chest tall so your back stays flat, and kind of send the hips forward. Almost a bit of a kettlebell swing, but you use the arm and the tension from the hips to get it up overhead. And you're like, that's cheating, it's not all arm. You don't wanna use all arm. You need your arms for the things like the burpee portion of it, which is gonna get really tiring. So the other thing that we do is on the way down, you can either go down to the ground and switch hands, or on the way down, you can drop it into the other hand, depending on your level of confidence as you're doing it. So mess around with that, big focus. Make sure the back stays as flat as possible. If you're rounding out your back a bunch from the bottom, it's gonna be no good for anyone involved. General rule of thumb when we're moving is we want a pain-free range of motion. So making sure we're doing as close to the proper range as possible while also being pain-free is very important. So when we think about an air squat, it's your body weight and you're taking it down till your hip crease goes below the knee and you're standing back up. That's what we're looking for from an air squat. Now, again, go back to that pain-free range of motion. Make sure whatever range you choose, you're not hurting. Discomfort's different than pain. Pain's like, ouch, sharp stab. Discomfort's like, this is hard. It's okay. It's okay for it to be hard. You can always decrease the amount of reps, make it hard, but try to hit that range. It's important to get health around the joints in the knees, ankles, and hips. Shoulder width stance is a good general place to start. You might have to take a slightly narrower stance if you've got really tight hips. And if you've got tight ankles, you might need to take a wider stance. So you can kind of adjust your stance to figure out what's the best way for you to get range while also staying balanced about the foot and not being all up in your toes. So those are the main things on the squat. You'll bang out those. For the devil's press, again, just stay steady on them. The squats, you need to just plug those out so you can get right back to those devil's press. I would err on the side of doing less rather than doing more. So maybe only do 75 reps on the devil's press. Work your way to there. And if you get there and you're like, oh, this is not so bad, maybe you can go to the 100. Or you can do something like, hey, I'm gonna go really light on the snatch and I'm gonna pull it back to 4 squats. And that's a different experience as well. Main thing is though, be smart, stay steady, do the work. Who knows? Maybe you'll surprise yourself. Lastly, this is a workout that I look at and I go, okay, it's probably something where I don't really need to warm up. I can just kind of like go right into it and move, but that's with my experience as a mover and years of training. But at the same time, you shouldn't do that for this workout. I should warm up because that way, right at about 3 minutes, I'm not gonna hit this wall where all of a sudden my energy system's shifted over because finally I'm slightly warm. You probably wanna take the body through a full range of motion ahead of time, basically doing some squats, doing some of those movements at lighter loads, doing some moving around on the ground, maybe go for a little jog, and then get the heart rate up, maybe do 1 round really quick so that your system's primed to actually hit this workout. then start your timer and get after it. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna warm up. I hope I warm up. And then I'm gonna get after it, and we'll talk about exactly how it went down afterwards.
2,000 years later.
Well, I didn't do what I suggested, which was warm up really good ahead of time. I just kind of jumped into it, which kind of exactly what happened, what I thought was going to happen. Right around 3 minutes hit, and I was like, all of a sudden I got slower. And even in round one, I was like, you know, I was planning to do 15, I got 13. And just the slowness of that movement. So I think a 9 to 13 range was something I was able to hold the entire time. 9, I think I had a couple rounds of 8, but then pumped it back up to 9 because I was trying to not drop off one each time. The way I figured 10 would be moving me forward, not dropping off. That was hard. I think when you do alternating devil's press, or devil's press in general, it's really easy to move poorly, like round your back off the ground, kind of hump it forward and not do great. If you think about setting your back up a little bit more and just popping it with the hip, the actual lift isn't very hard. It's just the time spent doing the burpee that really takes up the energy. I think if I were to start to round my back and pull from weird places, I would have fried myself just because of the up and down and the extension of the back. But it was good. It was, I'm sweaty, I'm slimed. Thank you, Slimer. I think something I'm realizing is having it be a named thing that I know a bunch of other people are doing. Even in my garage, it allows me to train harder. Like I scent it a lot more. I mean, I'm training with my wife here, but oftentimes I don't go hard. And I think this will be a good opportunity for at least once a week for me to really hammer it. I mean, all the workouts are hard, but to really get after it because there's something on the line to some degree for 26 weeks. Not like I'm trying to be competitive or anything. It's just there's a natural push when it's a name and you've signed up for it and it's a commitment and yada, yada, yada. I think it's going to be fun. So week 1, done. Slimer in the bag. Next week, 80s, whatever it is. I hope it's something cool. Whew.